Hey, beautiful heart. Welcome to my little place on the internet where your cells are listening and your soul yearns to speak. Let's dive in and see what messages are waiting for us today. All right, you guys. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I am Dr. Danae. I'm a metaphysician and a self-mastery coach. So let's dive in and see what we've got going on. So we are starting out with number one, plant the seed for a new template. We've been talking here for a while now about this new energy and how to navigate it so that with ease and grace, we smoothly transition. Because I know this energy has been buck wild and it has not been very smooth. And the thing is, it's our responsibility to learn the energy and then work with it, not against it. We've all grown up in the matrix, in that 3D reality, so we're used to resistance. That's what we learned in the matrix. All right, this next one, number 8, create will activate your DNA. Sorry guys about the lighting, but yes. What else have we been talking about? And what do I talk about all the time? About your cells and how your cells have memory and your thought forms, your thoughts and your beliefs, which combine as a thought form, get stored on your cellular level. If you do not deal with those stored thought forms, and many of us forget that they're there. A lot of these were created when we were younger, and then we add on to them as we grow up. What ends up happening as we get a little bit older, if we have not dealt with the thought forms or the stuck emotions in our cellular level, it will show up in life and act out. One of the primary ways it shows up, and I'm saying one of the primary ways, this isn't the only way, this is one of the ways, and modern medicine will catch up with this. This is already being studied, but it will become the new modality. But it is the way that these stored emotions, lower vibrational emotions and beliefs will show up in your life as autoimmune diseases. Things not working out well, meaning no matter what you try to do, these beliefs, these thought forms of your experiences in life that are stored at that DNA level subconsciously start to come up. You have been making decisions on your life based on these stored thought forms, whether you realize it or not. So, and when I say realize it or not, because for me, when I went through my autoimmune journey, and a couple of the specialists that really weren't mainstream said to me, you know, they wanted to talk about my emotions. That was the last thing I wanted to talk about back then. This was, like I said, in the beginning of my journey, I did not put two and two together, that the emotions and the physical body go hand in hand. So if you haven't put that together, spoiler alert, you might want to look at that. But when I had that revelation and I remembered, well, wait a minute, cells have memory. You can activate that memory of those cells. So that's when I started talking to my cells, more of like, well, let me prove it. So that's what started me on that journey that has now turned into a whole methodology that is changing people's lives. I mean, it completely changed mine. I'll share some before and after pictures, but yeah, your thought forms. So your thoughts with an emotion about that thought come together, create a thought form. That gets stored on your cells in your DNA. There is no such thing as junk DNA. That is going to get renamed. But anyways, if you have some things going on in your body and maybe the doctors haven't been able to really put anything to it, you've got nothing to lose by starting to talk to your cells and ask your cells to reveal to you the beliefs that you need to let go of or that you need to look at and rewrite. Now, disclaimer, I am not a medical professional. I am not a medical doctor. I'm a philosopher. So I'm not here giving any medical advice whatsoever. That's between you and your doctor. What I am talking about is a completely different methodology that anybody can use. And it's definitely unique to you because nobody else really is in your brain having these conversations with you aside from altered ego. But we break all that down. We already know what that is. And we know that's the part of us that we need to love free. A lot of the argument or the voices or some of the beliefs that we may have, yes, that's projected energy that we took on as our own. Usually it comes from the caregivers when we were younger, certain adults, maybe friends, relationships, things like that. This is what I'm talking about when I say, let's look at this whole cellular, what's in our stored in our cells. Because if you've been on an awakening journey and you've been trying to heal, and maybe on this journey, your body is, in other words, breaking down. I do that with air quotes because I'm trying to put this in context. Either your body's breaking down, it's revolting, it's acting out on itself, things like that. Something I see a lot in my practice is somewhere in your history. And again, this doesn't have to be for everybody. So get in where you fit in. If this is for you, you'll know it, okay? Don't make something fit if it doesn't naturally fit, okay? Anyways, if all of a sudden your body's kind of revolting and breaking down, ask yourself, reflect back on the past. Is this something that maybe you saw somebody go through that you really loved? And you developed beliefs around that via your thoughts? And now that same situation is playing out in your body? It's physically playing out for you? You can trace that back. If you heard that and went, oh, wait, yeah, you just got a golden key right here. That is a cellular answer that you can look into. You can revisit that belief. I know it may sound weird or wacky or whatever, but hey, that's the new earth, weird and wacky. Here we are. I'm not going to take the time to go into it now, but that is something that I experienced, especially on this autoimmune journey that I was on for many, many years. 42, move away from a difficult situation. So what this is saying is there is some sort of difficult situation you keep playing over and over in your mind. Yeah, you may be playing it over and over in your mind because it's acting out in your 3D world. But again, you have the choice on how you're going to look at it. If you keep coming from that place of this is difficult, this is sad, this is this, or this is how it's always been, I'm not going to sugarcoat this to you, my friend. You're going to get exactly more of that. I know it's not that easy to make that switch. If it was easy, everybody would be doing this. Everybody's not doing this. Not everybody is on this awakening journey, because guess what? It's the hardest thing you will ever do. Why? Because it's you with you. And you've spent so many years looking outside of you for things to make you feel better or feel validated or feel loved. That was the wrong focus the whole time. The whole time it needed to be coming from you. You set the blueprint and the stage for your experiences in your life. So, if you're still in that bucket, like a crab in a bucket, just kind of going around and around in the bucket, doing the same thing, thinking the same thing, having the same inner dialogue with yourself, and then expecting something to be different and then getting pissed when it doesn't, or you validate it as, see, my intuition told me this, blah, blah, blah. Honey, that was not your intuition. That was monkey mind. That was conditioning. That was on purpose to keep you stuck and playing small. No, altered ego in its current state does not want you to heal. It doesn't want you to evolve. It doesn't want you to grow. Why? Because if you do, that threatens its prominence in your life, its mere existence as it is today. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're not knocking off altered ego. We're not being mean to altered ego. Altered ego is a program, and it's not truth. We need to love that free and feed it our new truths, because altered ego is created out of your own thought forms that are stored on your cells that were very self-sabotaging, not nice to yourself. Now that you're an adult, now that you're on this path, when you know more, you have to do more. It calls for a level of self-responsibility. That's what you're being called for. 25, enter your sacred space. Yes. You know, for those of you who work with the elementals, some of you are really close with the fairies. Open up to that. Some of you more maybe dragon energy, angel energy, water energy, whatever. This whole message is about, it's time to let go of the hard ways, those, sunk in hard beliefs. It's time to let all of that go and navigate this bumpy water. Because here, when we look at the storyboard, this is, some ups and downs. You are making strides. Try not to focus on where you've been, what hasn't happened. Focus now on where you're going and the amazing things that are happening. Even if today, let's say you wake up and all you can do is just be grateful that you are not who you used to be a few years ago. Start there. You can build upon it from there. Knight of Pentacles, yes, this has been a long road, but guess what? Slow and steady wins the race. The Knight of Pentacles is not a loser by any means. He is definitely a winner. He's very strategic. He's pragmatic. He's slow because he knows he doesn't need to rush. He'd rather take his time and savor a beautiful outcome than rush in and get sloppy and then have that manifestation for a little bit and then lose it. So, honor the patience that you've had to get you to where you're at. You're not done yet. 3 of Swords in reverse. I love this because this is saying that you are not coming from that broken-hearted place. Now, There's a difference from that deep broken-hearted place and altered ego still reminding you of the past and trying to hook you with that. If you're still listening to me, you have done enough work that this is not where you're coming from. If you're still kind of going, but this is sad, I still don't have this, I'm tired, blah, 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 that's habit. That is altered ego habit because it can't really hook you. This is where you're being called to honor your healing, honor where you're going, because we have the star. This is about healing. This is about choosing you. Honor that today. Each time the old wants to come up, honor today where you're at. Being grateful that you're not where you used to be, but you are on your way to where you want to be. And look, 6 of Wands. Yeah. Recognition is coming. You are going to be spotlighted. This spotlight is going to come out of situations that were set up that looked like it wasn't going to work out for you. You hold on and keep looking forward in this now moment. That's what's coming for you. Absolutely. And then the 7 of Swords. This is more about, again, that altered ego energy wanting to inject old habits of the past to hold you back. What are you choosing today? Ask yourself that. Are you choosing in the now moment the version of who you want to be or who you were? I'm going to leave you to contemplate that. As always, I am sending oceans and oceans of love from my heart to yours. I'm Dr. Danae, your mirror and your messenger. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.